All right, everyone. I'm really sorry about last week. I know I should have done like at least one video, probably not a dozen, but I've got a good one today, so let's get right to it. Welcome, everybody. This is the Film Glutton, and this is another episode of MoviePass / AMC A-List. This is specifically not just on MoviePass, but on Triton Funds. I've done 2 other videos on Triton Funds, so if you want the full backstory, if you're unfamiliar with it, go ahead and check out those videos. Just really quickly, Triton Funds, right from their website, was started by 3 undergraduate students from Southern California aspiring to create an investment fund with a millennial touch. Very intriguing, right? Anyways, basically, as soon as they've invested in several different companies, and now they've got their eyes set on MoviePass. As soon as MoviePass fell on their radar, they fell on my radar. I did a show on them. I reached out to them. They were very kind to actually reach back to me, give me a call. So that led to a follow-up interview, and I wanted more. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted more. So I requested a sit-down interview. Unfortunately, they're super busy. So as an alternative, I said, how about I just email you the questions, and you can answer the questions, and I can read them for all my viewers, and that way I get a quote-unquote directly for you guys. Now, I mainly want to act as an intermediate, so I will tell you my general thoughts and my walk away, but that'll be at the very end. I might clarify some of the questions, but beyond that, I just want to read their answers. I do want to start by saying the headline is very obviously Triton Funds is in the game. There was some rumors going on about them not being interested anymore or whatever it is. They are 100% in the game. Secondly, I want to 100% and personally thank Triton Funds. This is really awesome that they did this. They didn't have to, they did. I appreciate it, and I think hopefully all you guys appreciate it. Let's get right into the questions, guys. The first one is a softball. Trust me, they grow. They get to the meat and potatoes. And they gradually grow. But the first one, this channel was all started because of my love for film and your love for film and our addiction, right? So I had to ask them one film question. I said, what was the best film so far in 2018? Their response, BlacKkKlansman. Can't argue with that. If you look at my website, I gave it a XXL, my highest grade. So if you haven't caught it, go out and catch it. Recommended by Triton Funds and the Film Glutton. Okay, number 2. Is your inquiry for purchase of the company or partnership? Basically, how much say would your team have with MoviePass? Their simple response, investor, shareholder, and strategic partner. Basically, sounds like they'd have a lot of say. So if you do like what they have to say, get behind them. Okay, number 3. How will the acquisition affect shareholders of Helio Matheson? Their response. It will put the fate of MoviePass in the hands of the shareholders by appointing board members that have their best interest. Okay. Next question comes from a subscriber, Kevlar Montana, I believe his name was. Mr. Montana says, thanks for the video. Well, thank you for contributing to this episode. Thank you for the view, and thank you for subscribing. I hope MoviePass is able to accept the help from Triton Funds. So they've got a fan. One question is, now that MoviePass is using a more sustainable business model, will A-List stick around and still give customers 12 movies a month for $19.99? So the basic way to interpret this question is obviously, since MoviePass has limited it to 3 movies a month, could AMC A-List then turn around and say, well, we don't have to offer so many movies? But I think broader than that, I think what Mr. Montana is getting at is if MoviePass went out of business, right? Would AMC A-List then turn around? Because that's why AMC A-List is here, is because of MoviePass. There's no matter how you feel about MoviePass, that's why it exists. So would they just kind of go back to business as usual? Anyways, their response is, the tree doesn't worry about the tree next to it. It just grows. MoviePass is a first mover in the space and a brand everyone knows. Next time that you are out for dinner or on the phone with customer service for your cable, cell, Wi-Fi, etc., ask them if they know and or use MoviePass. MoviePass is in 92% of theaters, so already saturated market in less than a year. Keep in mind, the reason why company is in this position, i.e. financial turmoil, is because it grew too fast. Okay. let's go on. That's their response. The next question also comes from a subscriber. Okay, now I do have to back up to that. There is something I wanted to say. If there's a response, it actually made me laugh because there's on the phone with customer service for your cable. I just imagine, I want all of you guys to do this. Just next time your cable goes out and you're on the phone with the cable, or if you're just paying your bill, be like, while you're making small talk, be like, hey, so are you a MoviePass person? I'm very guilty of this. I mean, obviously, I have a website and a YouTube channel dedicated to this. I'm very curious about it. My biggest time I'm guilty of this is when I'm in an Uber or Lyft. I'm always bringing this up. I always want to know their movie taste, their movie theater preferences, and then it always goes down the route of talking about subscription services, which I always end up informing people on. I found it funny that they said that. So, but also I think this is a good segue because I have talked about MoviePass so much into the next question, which comes from another subscriber, Gorilla Works. I'm a little late to the party in joining MoviePass. As I was finally about to give it a try, the whole it's failing its customers and it's about to go under talk began. Is it still worth joining? Ooh, good question. And the reason why I bridged off from the last one is because, like I said, I used to not only talk about MoviePass, MoviePass was my recommendation to people. I can tell you 100% there's 2 people legitly I'm responsible for joining MoviePass. 2 people out there 100% that joined MoviePass and that are still paying them. That are still subscribers. There's other stuff, but it gets kind of confusing. Anyways, I'm also a subscriber based upon recommendation. So that's obviously very important. So anyways, I pretty much formulate this into the question is how does MoviePass compete with all these other people? Because now when people ask me, I got to be honest about Cinemia. And if you've listened to my other episodes, you know how I feel about Cinemia. I was literally a subscriber for about a day. And so I don't like recommending them, but in some respects, it's a better deal if you can pay the annual cost up front. A-List gives you more bang for your buck. This is Triton's response. MoviePass gives... MoviePass gives users greater access to theaters, not necessarily films yet. And we will make sure that the first 5 million users are grandfathered in, i.e. no dramatic material changes to user agreements other than accounting for inflation every few years. It is all about leveraging your wallet. There is still a huge value add. Despite recent changes, being a MoviePass user, i.e. in New York City, a movie ticket costs $22. Times that by 3, that's $66. That's 6 times back the money. In US, the average ticket price is $11. Times that by 3, that's $33. 3 times back the money. So, okay, they're saying it's still a good deal. Interesting. The next one gets right to it. I think this was too important, too important to avoid. It's the biggest concern, and I think it's their biggest problem moving forward. I ask, MoviePass has lost tons of subscribers, and it wasn't all due to peak pricing or the new plan. MoviePass has had some very questionable business practices. Getting real, guys. The best example of this was automatically signing people up for the new plan when they had previously canceled. My fear is the consumer has lost faith in MoviePass, and far worse than losing money, you have to turn a profit, so money is important, but far worse than that is having consumers lose faith because that's so hard to get back. This is Triton Funds' response. Because I asked them, how can MoviePass change this? How can Triton Funds change this? Triton Funds is an advocate for shareholders and users that do not have a voice of their own. We plan to put the fate of MoviePass in the hands of the shareholders and bring our capital and strategic venture partners to help Mitch conquer his goal of bringing affordable movies to the masses. All right? And then I think all these questions kind of flow nicely. The final one is brought by another subscriber. This one wanted to remain anonymous. But I thank them anyways for the question and contributing to the show. And for the view, obviously they watch the other shows. Anyways, I actually wanted this one to be the last one because of Triton Fund's response, okay? So the question is, considering the tumultuous recent history, is there any chance of subscriber forgiveness? Maybe once the course is properly corrected, MoviePass can try to welcome back all that previously canceled without waiting the full period as stated in the agreement. Okay? So basically everyone knows that if you cancel your subscription to MoviePass, you get put in time out, which technically I guess makes sense. I think it's 11-month waiting period. You cannot re-sign up. However, right now, the reason why they're losing subscribers is totally on the fault of MoviePass. I would make the argument at least. Anyway, so this was Triton Funds' response. This is the plan. Restoring the faith to shareholders and users with a new board, new strategic investors, and incentivizing the first 5 million to 10 million subscribers and members that were there from the beginning with the grandfather clause I mentioned above. Let me repeat that beginning part. This is the plan. Restoring the faith to shareholders and users with a new board, new strategic investors, and incentivizing the first 5 million to 10 million subscribers. That's it, guys. Either you buy it or you don't. I'm very curious if you do. If you are a MoviePass subscriber, or if you're an A-lister, or if you're a former MoviePass subscriber, or just some random person out there that has an opinion on it, share it in the comments. I'm curious how you feel about it. I will say that my general impression has been pretty good. Obviously, I think these guys are full of class. They're really awesome. I mean, it's a classy responses. It's very nice for them to take the time to answer my questions and to all that different type of stuff and to reach out to me, but also you guys, all my viewers. So I appreciate it. But also, I think all their answers left me with a pretty good taste in my mouth. There's hope. I can't say whether or not it's 100% a good deal. I can't say whether or not I'm 100% sold, but I can, or I don't want to say good deal, but whether or not they could actually change the flow. But it seems to me that they are aware of the problems and they at least have a plan. But making me know that they are aware of the problems, it meant a lot. So I think it personally gives me hope. What do you guys think? Okay, I really want to know, and of course Triton Funds want to know. I will say that if you do want to support Triton Funds, if you do like their message, I'm not a big guy that's like subscribe and like to my stuff, but I would go ahead and suggest sharing this video, because if you support Triton Funds, then you might want to get their message out. It might help them a lot by getting the message out. I'm just saying. Okay, guys? Anyways, I want to end on the very last line in their email. They left us with one last line. They said, stay tuned. MoviePass Manifesto coming soon. That's it, guys. They said it. They're very much in the game. Of course, I'm going to cover. If they reach out to me again, I will gladly talk to them. If not, I'll just be covering them in the news. I will 100% have an episode on that MoviePass Manifesto. They're on the field. They're playing, guys. Tell me what you guys think. Anyways, until next time, this is the Film Glutton reminding you that Triton Funds is still in the game and never turn down an upgrade. Have a good night, folks.